meeting of Cabinet on the 9th of July. It seems quite a long time since we've been in this room together. Elections getting in the way, rather, I suspect. Without any delay, well, without very much delay, do we have any apologies for absence, please?
Apologies from Councillor Wise this morning, Chair.
Thank you. Councillor Wise isn't taking the morning off. She's actually undertaking duties connected with her portfolio for the benefit of anybody watching. Announcements from Chairman or Head of Paid Service. I don't have any, and neither does the Head of Paid Service. Do we have any declarations of interest? No. Minutes, then. Can we confirm the decisions of the meeting of the Cabinet held on the 11th of June? Can I have a proposer? Councillor Johnson, and seconder, Councillor Brown. All in favour, please.
That's unanimous and carried. Thank you.
Thank you. Right, we move on then to the Levelling Up programme, which seems to have been going on rather a long time. In fact, it hasn't really. It's such a big programme for us. It dominates quite a lot of our thinking. It is a really good opportunity for us to get capital investment into Rutland to support economic development, to support our tourism industry through the digitisation of the ichthyosaur and the Roman mosaic that were discovered a little while ago now, and to boost our transport offering. Those were the three strands of the Levelling Up programme. As you're all aware, and I think the public watching may be aware now, we were limited as to the different strands we could bid under. So it wasn't a, oh, here's some money for capital investment, go and do what you want scenario. But nevertheless, we did bid on those three and were successful, and the project is progressing. But like all these projects, they are staged. There are points at which we have to stop and make decisions. And one of those is today, and it's moving on to the final stages. Probably not final. None of these things are ever final until we've passed them on to the next body who's dealing with them. We're moving on to a much more concrete stage, literally in some cases, as in the buildings. And for people watching, there might potentially be a confusion in paragraph 1.3.1, where there is a reference to harnessing the economic potential of 100,000 people, and that is the population of Rutland. But clearly, this project, first of all, covers Rutland and Melton, so it's much bigger than just us. And if you're looking at economic potential, there are towns, Stamford, Corby, and so on our edges, where residents might well be attracted to the jobs that we are creating. So don't get confused by the figure there, because I think it was a potential for confusion. The Melton elements of this project that are focusing on the I'm having one of my can't think of words days, stockyard, are progressing very well, but the decisions around those are not decisions for this cabinet. So what we are deciding today is focused on the elements within Rutland. We have made one or two amendments to the recommendations on the paper, in light of reflection, one of which is to include my role within the consultation elements, given that I'm leading on this project, and the other is to clarify that we will be using Rutland's contractual procedural rules for letting the various management elements within it. So I will read the recommendations now as they stand, and in so doing I am proposing them in order that we can go into the debate. 1.2.1, that Cabinet note the Levelling Up Fund LUF update at Appendix 1 of this report. 1.2.2, the Cabinet grant delegated authority to the Strategic Director for Places in consultation with the leader, portfolio holder for planning, property and economic development, and the portfolio holder for governance and resources, to A, award a construction contract for the property at Cold Overton Road, known as Jewel's House, brackets Moby Hub. B, award a construction contract for the Meditech Centre at Oakham Enterprise Park in line with contract procedure rules. C, agree a legal partnership with Anglian Water to transfer the ichthyosaur to Rutland County Council with a back-to-back agreement to loan the asset back to Anglian Water. D, award a commission for the conservation of the ichthyosaur in line with contract procedure rules. And E, approve the design principles for the Levelling Up cultural exhibition space at Oakham Museum. 1.2.3, that Cabinet grant delegated authority to the leader, Strategic Director for Places in consultation.
Chair, you can't delegate to the leader, delegate in consultation with. It's in consultation with the leader. You said delegate authority to the leader. Sorry, it's my fault. It was inserted in the wrong place.
Sorry. Thank you for listening.
So we just take that out.
And it's
in consultation with the leader.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's it.
Thank you. Apologies, everybody. We'll start that one again. 1.2.3, that Cabinet grant delegated authority to the Strategic Director for Places in consultation with the leader, portfolio holder for planning, property and economic development, and the portfolio holder for governance and resources. A, approve a business plan for the Moby Hub. B, enter into a management agreement for operation of the Moby Hub in line with contract procedure rules. C, approve a business plan for the Meditech Centre. And D, negotiate a lease for the Meditech in line with contract procedure rules. And 1.2.4 hasn't changed. In relation to 1.2.3 B and D, delegates authority to the Strategic Director for Law and Governance to take any steps necessary to ensure the accountable body complies with the requirements of the Subsidy Control Act 2022. Do I have a seconder for that? Thank you, Councillor Ellison. So it's been proposed and seconded. Open to discussion and debate, ladies and gentlemen. Lady and gentlemen. Councillor Johnson.
Thank you, Chair. Can I just clarify, are we saying that all the recommendations that are commercial are subject to the Council's commissioning protocols and policies?
Yes, we are.
Thank you.
Sorry, any other comments or questions? I would like, as I'm struggling to get my words in the right order this morning, I would like to ask the Director, please, if she could briefly, for the benefit of anyone watching, explain the legal agreement with Anglian Water about the transfer and so on, why we're doing that.
just the background and the need for it.
The need for it.
So Anglian Water own the ichthyosaur. It was found on their land, and therefore they are the designated owners of the asset. However, in order to conserve it and be able to publish research papers in relation to the conservation process and the ichthyosaur itself, it has to be part of an authorised collection with a designated collection number. So as Rutland County Council holds a museum collection, we have the ability to incorporate the sea dragon into our collection, give it its allocated collection number, which then will enable all the research to take place and be published. However, in sort of partnership with Anglian Water, we sort of recognise their desire to continue to they have a vision to be able to showcase the asset. So the intention is that we will incorporate the sea dragon into the museum collection, but then loan it straight back out to Anglian Water, and they will, on the basis of the legal agreement, be entirely responsible for any maintenance and the continued obligations in relation to the asset.
Thank you. I think that was very helpful. Do we have any other questions, comments, observations? Councillor Smith.
Just one slight concern, because I noticed it's on page 46 concerning next steps, and it's to do with the completion of the MediHub and moving on to REBA 2 stage. Because I understand we have to complete the project by March 2026. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah, and I just wondered, it seems that it might be tight time scale. Can we be reassured that we've got the time to complete the design stage?
As far as the project planning is concerned, yes, we are within the timescales that have been planned for this, and so I am as confident as anyone can be, because clearly you don't know what's on the horizon. But Director, do you want to make any comments, please?
Yes, thank you. We are programmed to be able to deliver within the timelines at present. It's why today's decisions are really key. So we are at a critical point in the programme, and as it stands, subject to anything out of our control, we are programmed to complete within the timeframes of the Levelling Up programme. It's probably just worth noting for the benefit of Cabinet and the public that the Levelling Up programme, we are committed to deliver certain outputs by March 26, but the ongoing delivery of outcomes and benefits beyond the specifics, we continue to monitor after March 26. So we have an ability to continue to deliver benefits beyond that cut-off date.
Thank you, that's useful.
I'm sure it was a useful question, Councillor Smith, and I'm sure many of us have read in our papers about how the LUF programme nationally isn't hitting its time targets, but we have so far, and that's not always been easy, and so I have every confidence that we will going forward. Any Councillor Johnson?
Can I just make the point, Chair, that the details of the projects from page 19 onwards, which I think are restricted, may well change during the course of the project. So I want to make sure that we're not saying that those are the final details.
Thank you, Councillor Johnson. That's a point very, very well made. And yes, I think we all understand that.
Thank you.
If there are no other comments or questions, the recommendation has been proposed and seconded. Recommendations, plural, have been proposed and seconded. All those in favour, please.
That's unanimous, Chair.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I think I've gone completely out of order, haven't I? I am having an incredibly dyspraxic day today. I apologise to everybody. We didn't actually cover it, were there any items raised by scrutiny, but I understand there weren't any items raised by scrutiny for
items this
today's meeting. And as a consequence, were there any items of urgent business? No. Thank you. I close this meeting at 10:15.